Rishi Sunak, he's been called the Great Reset, his grand reset.
Sushi's reset.
Sushi Sunak's reset. He's been doing this now for about a month. You know, it's the new plan, 5-point plan, this, that, the other, going back to the nation, and we're the party of change. You can't be the party of change after 13 years in power, Rishi, and he's finding out that the public aren't buying this.
Well,
they're 20 points behind.
He thought trimming a little bit off the bottom of national insurance would make everyone go, ah, here he is. He's come to redeem conservative values. Has he really? I mean, come on. You're not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. We're still broke. Your tax haircut's done nothing for the average person. You can't sort out the boats crossing the channel. And then the legal migration figures are off the scale and you don't want to do anything about it. So whatever you say and do, little Rishi, no one believes you. No one wants to vote for you. Give up now.
Well, exactly. And this is it. The public have not bought his grand reset. It was always a forlorn hope, if you ask me. And this is what I always say about Sunak. He seems like a nice little guy.
He does seem like a nice little fella, doesn't he?
He's very intelligent, but he's a lousy politician.
He's got no spine.
He should have thought of something better than, after 13 years, to say, we're the party of change.
Hey, look, I mean, that's us on screen.
Oh, look, there we are.
Double us.
Oh, crosstalk there on 1 p.m. Don't miss a second.
Look, we're like a king-size Kit Kat on screen. How amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mrs. Miggins, all that, it's all Greek to me, Alex. See what I did there?
Is it all Greek to you?
Rishi Sunak has cancelled a meeting with the Greek leader as a row erupts over the Elgin marbles. First off, explain what the Elgin marbles are.
So basically, the Elgin marbles were lovely marbles of Greek deities and so on and so forth that lived in the Parthenon in Athens. So, you know, an amazing feat of ancient Greece. Massive
They look a bit like that.
And basically, Lord Elgin, back in the day, went to Greece and bought them for a sizable sum because he was worried they were going to be ground down and used as building material. So good on Lord Elgin back in the day. He then put them in his lovely country pile in Scotland.
Mind you, the Greeks say that he nicked them.
Well, the Greeks say he nicked them. We say he
probably
bought
got a
them.
point,
we say they were going to grind them up and use them for, like, you know, building some sort of, you know, prefabricated ancient hut. But, you know, basically, we've been arguing with Greece ever since of who gets to keep them. Now, on all of this, of course, like everything else, it becomes one of those, you've got to be one side or the other. And I'm on team send them back. Not because I think we're going to start sending everything back in the British Museum, but let's be fair, Greece do know how to look after those things. Now, back in the day, probably not. They probably weren't, you know, kitted out to make sure they didn't get covered in graffiti or whatever. But they are ready to look after them now. And actually, it's probably cheaper to fly to Athens and stay in a hotel to go see them where they belong in the Parthenon than get a coach to London and stay in a hotel in Earl's Court.
Rubbish. Don't give them back. We keep them. And when the Greek Prime Minister comes to see us and say, why can't we have the Elgin marbles back? We just say, because you can't.
Well,
because we've got them. Finders keepers. You can't have them. And we're obviously not going to give them back to them because this row has been raging for the best part of a century, and we're still not giving them back. And I mean, I suppose that technically, in the sensible world, we should give them back, but I think it's kind of funny not to.
I know you do, but you know, I love ancient Greece. I'm obsessed with it at the moment. That's all I read about right now. I'm guzzling up all the old myths and legends, and I'd love to go to Athens and see. Oh, I don't know. I just read a book called Circe, based on the witch goddess, and she's pretty cool. I'm now reading a book on Achilles. He was a bit of a monster, really, and a lot of homoerotica.
What was his weak spot, by the way?
I think it was his heel.
Oh, really?